MPI Board of Trustees and the Head of Office of the Catholic Relief Services Philippines, Mr. Orson Sargado.
Ayong buntag, kalinaw, kapayapaan, greetings of peace, salam. Let me start by pointing out I'm wearing all black today. And I surprised myself this morning because I just realized that the MPI t-shirt is black. Good that there are prints and symbols on the shirt, or else they would resemble like Black Panther. Speaking of Avengers, Endgame, the movie, I would like to echo the popular line of Thanos. I am inevitable. In the same manner, I would say that our coming together for this year's MPI is likewise inevitable. This is meant to happen. Despite all odds, personal, organizational, including the challenges in the visa processing for some of our participants, all forces in nature, so to speak, align and bring us together here. Each one of us is meant to be here. Our presence speaks volumes of our aspirations and inspirations to contribute to making this world more tolerant, accepting, and peaceful. Yes, it is inevitable that we are here together, being part of MPI's 20-year event. Since its inception in 2000, as Chris pointed out earlier, personally, it has been a huge blessing, beautiful gift for being there at the start. I was still very young, fresh from college, never mind. Having witnessed MPI's journey and growth through the years, from being part of CRS Peace and Reconciliation Program until its institutionalization in 2009, it is humbling to recognize that I have evolved with MPI's growth as well, both personally and professionally. In June 2000, I joined CRS as a young project officer, and my task of fire was being a student and member of the first annual event of MPI. Through the years, I have taken on various roles. Chris pointed out some of these, from class documenter, to class assistant, to facilitator intern, to becoming facilitator, and eventually as part of the member of the MPI board. Truly, to be part of MPI is a great milestone and a true blessing to me. I have been engaged in peacebuilding and development work for roughly 20 years now. More years than Mike Alar. In 2001, I first learned from the conflict transformation guru, John Paul Lidrock, which many of you know him, the decade-thinking approach in peacebuilding. At that time, in all my own innocence, I thought, lo and behold, it could take 10 years to do peacebuilding work. And I'm proven very, very wrong. The road to sustainable peace goes beyond 10 years. It requires comprehensive, intentional, and creative work. To reinforce our theme on positive engagements in peacebuilding, allow me to share with you 10 key lessons in doing peacebuilding work in Mindanao. And please bear with me. I thought about these lessons in 10 days, one lesson per day. Let me recognize, though, that these lessons do not just demonstrate my personal experiences, but foremost, reflect the collective experience of my peacebuilding colleagues, of our local peace partners and communities here in Mindanao. The list of lessons is captured in the acronym Build Peace. Let's start with letter B. Be at peace with yourself. We need to recognize our unique journeys and struggles, our pains, our woundedness, our past traumas, our own misconceptions, and hidden prejudices. We have to address and manage our own internal and often invisible war inside. For me, this is the most difficult, and yet the best starting point. This is a continuous process requiring self-recognition and reflection. We are always a work in progress. Yes, we have had our challenging moments. Struggle is real. We regress. Yet, we commit to stand up and move forward. Always, we harness our motivations, intentions, and purpose. As Gandhi invokes, let us be the change that we want to see in the world. You understand the other and be bridge builders. If you look around, we see our glaring differences. Countries, attires, religions, colors, age, status, etc. But we also see our common humanity having shared values and principles, visions of hope for a better future. We need to choose what binds us together. We need to continue learning and sharing who we are, our cultures, our identities. We need to celebrate and respect our differences. We need to educate people that the world is not expanding, and in fact, it is a shared territory and space. The only viable option left for us now is to accept one another with respect and tolerance. Let us not build walls, but bridges to connect and bring peoples and communities together in dialogue and solidarity. I identify peace champions in transforming structures. We have to be more strategic in choosing and engaging with individuals who are uniquely positioned in structures of power at different levels to directly or indirectly influence transformation. Sometimes the champions are the gatekeepers, wives of powerful leaders, the office secretary, the messenger, or even the security guard. We identify and work with these people to help us connect with the right and influential people. And learn this together, and this is what brings all of us at MPI. After long cycles of violence, people need to learn non-violent, dialogical, and peaceful approaches to conflict. MPI, other peace institutes, and the various capacity strengthening events are complete platforms for this, including community or inter-country learning exchanges, and leadership and mentorship programs. We need to continue learning, as peace work is both art and science. And for us who have been in this work, we know that. It requires both creativity and concrete tools to manage and transform conflict. Our great noble intentions need to be reinforced by hard skills. Commitment and intentions, they're not enough. We have to have the right skills. D, develop conflict-affected communities to peace communities. And for all of us who have been here in Mindanao, we know how the transformation of conflict-affected communities to becoming zones of peace or spaces for peace. And in the same areas where you come from, I guess that's the challenge. How can you support and contribute towards transforming conflict communities into peace communities? P, for the peace word, play your role well. We can do peace and justice work regardless of our roles. High-level decision makers, like some of us here, like Wendy as the director of the Peace Center, like Mike Alar as a consultant to World Bank, or mid-level officers, rank and file educators like Katie, church workers, community and development workers. Whatever we do, we can provide more intentionality and direction to our efforts that should facilitate creating and building harmonious relationships, in connecting people, in addressing differences. E, embrace new connections and friendships. And for me, this is one great bonus of being at MPI. Through MPI, we meet genuine and passionate people. When I'm speaking from the heart, all of those who come out. Many people in this room have become my colleagues, my friends, my mentors, my co-learners. We celebrate small gains and milestones, share simple joys, and together create loud laughters. We analyze, we strategize, support and work together. We create a web of relationships that cut across different continents, sharing not just the profession, but the passion, mission, and vocation for peace and justice work. After many years, though, the fact remains that the tribe of peace workers in the world needs to increase and expand. We know too few people all over the world, and same people in the last 10 to 20 years. And that speaks of how little, how few people are into this work. And I hope that this year's Mindanao MPI participants will help us expand and grow in terms of creating these web of relationships. Accompany local partners and communities. And I guess many of us have worked directly in the communities. So be strategic and work with your local partners because they're the ones who are connecting directly with the people in the communities. C, create multi-sectoral partnerships at different levels. We need to facilitate processes that bring all actors and sectors together, government officials, church leaders, business leaders, people's organizations, schools, and other learning institutions, including the unlike-minded groups and individuals like the military or the non-state actors. All of these sectors, all of these people have stake in creating peace building in the communities where we work. So we have to connect and engage with them. The last part, envision peace together. In the last 20 years of my work, I have opportunities to directly listen to the stories of people in the ground and listen to what's their definitions of peace. Let's hear from a Muslim man from Mindanao. For him, peace, stop the armed encounters, ensure food security for people, peace of mind, provide basic services to poor communities, provide safe drinking water, education and health services, respect for human rights and the rights of indigenous peoples. A Bisayan woman from Cotabato City. There is peace when we can sleep at night. When we can send our children to school. When people can farm their lands. When we can visit neighboring communities free from fear. Youth from the islands of Basilan. Peace happens when people respect one another regardless of differences. Peace happens when people look beyond their personal interest. Peace happens when youth are given opportunities to maximize their potentials. A father of 10 from Hulu province. Peace, good governance, rule of law, economic opportunities. And finally, a teacher from Sultan Kudarat. Peace is working together of all sectors, all people, regardless of ethnicity, Muslims, Christians, indigenous peoples. Peace is respect for all. Simple visions and hopes. It is clear that the people from grassroots communities in Mindanao, especially those who live in conflict-affected areas, have very simple wish to live in peace. And I must say, the same communities from where you come from share similar sentiments. It is always important to have a clear vision as this facilitates direction and guidance for action. For all of us, as we begin our journey and solidarity for this year's MPI, may we take to heart these lessons. Build peace. Be at peace with yourself. Understand the other and be bridge builders. Identify peace champions in transforming structures. Learn peace together. Develop conflict communities to peace communities. Lay your role well. Embrace new connections and build friendships. Accompany local partners and communities. Create multi-sectoral partnerships at different levels and envision peace together. At the end of the day, I encourage everyone to see one another as gifts and blessings. Together we learn, identify challenges and opportunities, and offer creativity and hope. And finally, let us always be mindful of why we are here and be guided by our individual and shared commitment to help build a more peaceful world with ourselves and beyond, for our children and children's children. Thanks and blessings to everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Orson, for inspiring every one of us on what are the ways how to continue with our peace building work, which is build peace. So thank you, Sir Orson, for sharing us these 10 lessons. But before that, Sir Orson, We will give you a token of appreciation with Chris. With your picture. Just kidding. So thank you.